Hey everyone, it's Arthur and Mel on Aloha Tuesday, our first live one.
Yep.
As I always say, better than our dead one.
That lead in makes me want to do the hula. Mhm.
Yeah. We had to do something. It's Aloha Tuesday.
There you go. Hi, Dan. Dan's in the house.
Oh,
Dan is wonderful. I see
it's
Connie B. Viviani. Let's see here. We got to say hi to everybody.
right.
Suta,
Thomas,
Bora Bora, Viviani. I said Viviani, didn't I?
Florida D,
Roveda, Thomas, Lori. Let me see here. Mercury Angel. Hi, Mercury. Mel Dore.
I know.
Hi. Connie B. Jenny W. Teresa McCann. Gia. Let's see. Um, Kathy. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. My Fairdale friend. Sandy. Polly. Olga. Lisa is a moderator. We've got a lot of moderators. Viviani is. Connie Underwood. Boy, Lucci or Lucy.
And hi, Karen, Colorado.
I'm sorry.
Hi to Karen, Colorado, and Betsy Warren, Casey.
Coretta, Cindy, Michael. Let's see. We got a well. If we missed
Yvonne.
Joy, Mary Lar, Veronica, Mimi, Marby, Krista. We got a lot of people watching. Mercury Angel, Deborah Hall, Karen. That's you said Karen. Kay Reiser, Susan Mellinger, or Mellinger in German. So there we go. Boy, it was a crazy day today. I want to tell you. On my way to work this morning, I called my friend. I was talking to her on the phone, and she said, "It's raining like the Dickens here." And halfway to work, I have never been in a deluge like happened this morning. It was really stormy, no pun intended. Couldn't even see to drive. I had to pull over. The streets were flooded. I get to the office. We have no electricity, no internet. So I called Joan and I said, "Don't even come in. Just call everybody and reschedule because couldn't do virtual, couldn't do anything really." So I called Gary and I said, "I'm coming home." Okay, fine. I get home. Oh my God, it was like a deluge. It was crazy. I get home and Gary said, "Oh, it's going to get better later in the afternoon." I'm like, "Okay." I took a nap. The sun's out now and it's beautiful. But I said, there must have been a message in that storm. Because it looked like
Oh no, I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing the song "Stormy Weather." Lena Horne.
it looked like it was real stormy for Trump, didn't it?
Yeah, and for him, I keep on hearing the Paul Anka, and now the end is near, and now I face the final curtain.
That's Frank Sinatra, isn't it?
Yeah, Paul Anka wrote the song, My Way.
Oh, I didn't know Paul Anka wrote that song.
Yeah.
Boy, I learned something today.
This is the Aloha Tuesday music version.
I'm in Chicago, so Frank Sinatra, Chicago, Chicago. Do you know what that means when they say that toggle in town? Don't look it up.
I used to, but I don't at the moment.
Don't look it up, anybody.
I'm not looking up anything.
Back in the 20s when that was written, there was a song called The Toggle or The Toddle or whatever it was. And it was a dance. And so everybody in Chicago before Prohibition and during did that dance. So that's where it got the name in the song. Isn't that wild?
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. Oh, Sherry's on. Sherry's wonderful. Everybody go check out her channel. Can I touch on something that my guides had told me, and a lot of people thought I was maybe losing a little bit, but it happened today. Can I touch on it?
We know you're touched, so go for it.
Yeah, right. Well, my guides had told me that Trump was going to, or his lawyers would try to pull some shenanigans to attempt to get Judge Merchan to declare a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened today, I was like, whoa, my guides have been telling me this. And when I said it, people were like, nah. And like, here we are, And I still think there's going to be reasonable doubt with one juror. So now they're going to try to have a hung jury. But I think they're going to try this mistrial thing again and try to use that as a grounds for appeal. But I talked to a lawyer friend of mine, and I asked specifically what a mistrial is. And what happens in a mistrial is if something illegal in the trial occurs, something, probably egregiously illegal. So the judge declares a mistrial. That doesn't mean that the defendant walks away. It just means they get another trial. So my guides have been telling me their tactics all along. And I was like, whoa, thank you, guides. Keep the information coming,
Yeah. On a timely manner, please.
They said that her testimony was too prejudicial to Donald Trump. To dozing Don. Why was it too prejudicial? Because she told the truth. I mean, there's no way that she's lying. My guides told me.
No, you know that. Sean after got mad.
Hold on.
Because
she got it right down to describing the tile on the floor. Come on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing is, before they had the trial, there's certain things that they could cover, they couldn't. She went over and beyond what she was supposed to be talking about.
Right.
And that's where he was saying, basically, enough. And so when they asked for the mistrial, they said, look, he said she went a little bit too far, but that's not enough for mistrial.
Well, what he did say is you should have objected during that. Yeah. Not the cross-exam, but the examination. You should have objected during that, and you didn't. And then I guess during cross-examination, I don't know, but I understand then the defense objected numerous times, and Judge Mershon sustained those objections, which I guess means that he let. In other words, he stopped whatever was going on.
Right. But at the same time, all this was basically is who's telling the truth, Stormy Daniels or Donald Trump?
Well, it's evident that Trump had relations with those people. I mean, for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
And, my guys are telling me his attorneys won't be able to convince the jury that all this is made up because Trump didn't know them. They made it up, blah, blah, blah. And the other thing that's not gaining him favor with the jury is, when he called Stormy Daniel horseface and sleazebag, that doesn't look good. That's like kindergarten stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not boding well for him, and he knows it.
Yeah.
My guys are telling me this mistrial thing will come up again, but
it's a tactic. Yeah, I believe, but it's not going to work. But you heard about what Judge Cannon did today, too, where she said basically postponed everything infinitum.
Well, because she keeps kicking the can down the road.
Right.
I've got that in my notes, too. But actually, she said May the 20th. And then it was going to happen May the 20th. Now she says July. But my feeling is that Jack Smith is going to file, I forget what it's called, but something with the 11th Circuit Court. And I'm telling you, they're going to take her off this case.
I see her run by the end of June, to be honest with you. That's what my guys keep on showing me. Good. So, and that's been going on for quite some time. I've been hearing that. So, Yay. And then the whole thing with one of the questions asked, though, is from Sheila. Let's see if I do this right.
There you go. You got it.
About Moses' speech. About, where Mike Johnson basically said that all prosecutions against Trump have to stop.
He doesn't have the right. That's overreach. He can't say that. I'm
just saying what he said. And this is right after his little tete-a-tete with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
What did he say?
He's just saying that everyone's overreaching, that everything against Trump is not true. It's just the talking points that Trump's been saying ever since he met with him. So
that's overreach, and I don't know, but my guides tell me he can get in a lot of trouble for that. It just shows that he doesn't have a certain part of the anatomy to stand up to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I won't discuss what the anatomy is.
I was going to say brain.
I think you have to go south.
Well, as in the movie Sleeper, when Woody Allen said, "My brain, that's my second favorite." Never mind. So the question here is, I would like to know what you think about Moses' speech. I think he's just, trying to save his ass, his butt, and appease Marjorie Taylor Greene and others. It's all going to backfire.
She's still going to make a move to oust him. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
she's still going to make a move.
I still feel he's going to be gone by the end of May. We're going to know what's going on with him.
And the Dems are going to be like, say what? I think behind the scenes, people are going to, some of the Republicans are going to pull them aside and say, why are you caving into that small group of 3 or 4 people? Are you that afraid? So,
yeah.
Well, it's going to be a wild ride, folks.
Yes. And the next question. We kind of just talked about this one.
Jack Smith has enough to get her removed, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the jury instructions that she told them alone is enough to get her removed. I see her at some point not being a judge. So I don't know if she resigns or gets impeached, but for entertainment purposes only, my guide is showing me a pocket, and she's in that pocket, and on that pocket it says Trump, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, it was recently revealed that she also went on some trips and stuff that she did not reveal until after NPR was asking about it. Then it showed up in the computer.
Right, because she said that she inadvertently forgot to put them up.
Or then she put it up and then her person was saying, well, the computer didn't read it right or whatever. There was a technical glitch.
Computers don't make those sorts of mistakes.
During retrograde.
Well, there's other things that are going to come forward that she didn't disclose. And I still see whistleblowers coming forward and saying that she was meeting with Trump's legal team behind the scenes during this whole thing that Jack Smith knew nothing about. So, I mean, I'm sure she's getting instructions from somewhere, 3rd, 4th, 5th party from that whole Trump camp for entertainment purposes only. But that's what my guides are showing me.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, this is like kind of the first time we're doing this live, and I'm just learning how to use StreamYard. So if you can put your questions in caps, it helps me. Thank you.
I'm checking them too.
So this one, it starts off as personal, but it is a good question though. Sue Todd, hello to you, beings of service. I have a question. Looking at me personally, specifically, what can you suggest I do for the upcoming election to help support the Democrats locally, state, and national? And I think that's for everyone, not just for Sue Todd.
Well, number one, everybody register to vote if you're not registered. Number two, on election day, if people can't get to the polls, offer to take them, offer to help them get out and vote. The other thing is write your congressperson, whoever that is, and your senators, and just say that you disagree with, what's going on. You can volunteer at the local headquarters, Democratic headquarters. If you're Republican headquarters. But here in Illinois, we have poll watchers. So people sit at the polls and make sure everything goes okay. So there's so much that you can do. You can donate to the National Democratic Party.
Donate. You can also door knock if need be.
That's right.
And just get the word out. And it doesn't have to be just about the presidential. It has to be on up and down the ballot on every race that's running.
That's right. Teresa asking about, she said, hopefully Canada will be removed. Yes, Teresa. Eileen will be.
Mm-hmm.
I call her kick the cannon because she keeps kicking the can down the road.
I used to have a picture of a woman being shot from a cannon. So that's what I always use when I talk about it. That's in the background. It's from like a 1925 magazine cover or something like that. This one is interesting. Any idea who Jack Smith was in a past life?
I think he was a clergy that was very outspoken and helped a lot of people with human rights.
Like a
and
monk
he was
almost
in past lives.
So help me with these questions.
Kay Reiser said, "Can't wait to hear Mel's take and giggle on today court details, including the spank." What was that about? That I didn't hear that.
The what? I didn't see the question.
Kay Reiser said, "Can't wait to hear Mel's take and giggle on today court battles, including the spank."
I don't know. I didn't read all the transcript of what went down today yet, but
I gotta hear about that one. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. But I think Trump took a real spanking today is what I think. Okay. Mercury Angel says, "You guys make me happy with your comic relief and great sense of humor along with your caring nature." Well, you can laugh or you can cry, and sometimes it's more difficult to laugh. Okay, here we go.
And when we cry, it does release a hormone in our body. That's why when they say you have a good cry, and men can't cry like women because our tear ducts are smaller. Just let you know.
I never knew that. Is that for real?
That's real, yeah. I've often had clients say, "How come he can't cry?" It's like, because he doesn't have tear ducts like you do.
I think my tear ducts are transgendered because I can cry pretty easily.
Well, I can dry, at the drop of a hat. But
so much for that.
The worst was when they first released E.T. and I was working, and there was only one. I wanted to see the movie, so there was only one screening that I could fit in my schedule. It was like 12 o'clock on a Saturday. Do you know how many little kids were crying? And as an empath, I mean, I was a blubbering idiot by the time I got out of that theater. It was
cute. It was sad. Okay.
Josh Hawley Blues.
I'm sorry.
Well, Josh Hawley Blues, the epitome of masculinity. Yes. Well, I wrote that whole book about being a man.
If that's masculinity, I'm Attila the Hun. Trust me. Julie Sessions says, I don't know if you can get it, Julie Sessions. "Hello, do you see the Democratic candidate for governor winning this year?" I don't know what Democratic governor she's talking about. We need someone who supports public education, and she's the former president of our state teachers union. But, I don't know the state, but Julie, in answer to your question, I'm hearing yes, 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 win. So, good. My feeling is that the Democratic candidate will win.
I do. Any guess on Trump VP pick? I don't think the lab called and said the clone is ready. So
who?
The lab hasn't called and said your clone is ready.
Oh, who's the African American man? I can't think of his name.
The head of HUD.
I'm sorry.
He was the head of HUD, the brain surgeon.
Either that or the other guy. I can't think of his name. They just asked him about, Trump's election denying, and he just tap danced around it. He couldn't give a straight answer. I can't think of the guy's name, but we know why Trump would do that, but I don't know.
This is a good one. Trump wanted the day off to attend Barron's graduation, but is now going to a fundraiser. Do his supporters not get blatant lies like this? Barron's graduation's in Florida, and then at 5 o'clock, I forget what state it's in, there's a fundraiser that Trump's going to be at. Same night.
They won't let me go to my son's graduation. He didn't go to any of his children's graduations, by the way.
Right.
And my guides tell me, I'll bet he doesn't go after all that hoopla, and I know.
And the judge never said he couldn't go. He just said, "Well, think about it and we'll see what the schedule is."
Exactly. The other thing I see coming too is Trump. I see now. Some people in the community disagree with me. is going to be held in contempt again because he broke a gag order again today, I think. And
well, he wrote something about Stormy Daniels and then removed it.
Right, but it doesn't matter. It was still put up.
Exactly.
And so that's like robbing the bank and then taking the money back, but you robbed the bank. So, I see him jailed, but not in a regular jail. I see like a room that he'll have to stay in for 2 or 3 days. And then what he's going to do with his supporters, he's going to, oh, the judge put me in jail. Look what they did. I'm broke. I need money. Send me money. But the court's going to say, you can't do that. You cannot gain money from constituents for breaking the law. I see the court putting an end to that.
Well, it's like that Son of Sam law.
I'm sorry, say again.
It's like the Son of Sam law. You can't make money. Oh, here it is. Stormy Daniels said she spanked Trump with a magazine. There was no objection from his team.
I think that's what Rashawn was talking about,
Yeah, that's probably it. Spanking moment.
Now we can call him Spanky. Spanky Dozy Don.
Spanky Dozy Diaper Don.
You got a spanky wanky.
Yeah.
I got to be careful. I don't want to go to YouTube jail.
Was that with or without the diaper?
I'd like to see the magazine. I wonder what kind of magazine it was. It was probably a Mad magazine or something.
I think it was probably like a highlighter from the kid or something. Okay.
Well, it wouldn't be a dog training magazine, that's for sure. Maybe. No, I can't say that. It's too bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a lot of things too.
I know.
Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
I would love to have seen the jury's face because I would have had to
I've been requesting to wear a mask so they couldn't see me laughing.
I would have been like, she did what?
But it also seems like no one's surprised.
Why would that surprise you? We're talking about dozing Don here,
So, Julie Sessions, will the Democratic candidate for governor in Indiana win? Lord knows we need someone pro public education, and she's the former state teachers union president. I think
knocks on doors. If she gets out and knocks on doors and all of that, yeah. Absolutely. But it's going to be a tight race. But I think if she gets out there and really campaigns and gets enough money, that she's got a really strong possibility of winning. What do you think? What do you think, Arthur?
Well, I think we spoke about this last time where I felt she wasn't campaigning enough. She has to get out there. And she was one time, I believe she was a Republican. And then she turned a seat. She became Democrat and took that seat. So how much of a Democrat she is, I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens because Indiana, unfortunately, is such a red state at the moment.
Well, I say going more purple.
Well, we'll see what happens.
All right.
Here's a fun one.
What's going to happen to Kristi Noem?
She ain't going to be writing a children's book, I can tell you that.
Did you hear when she said that Biden should shoot his dog Commander?
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot believe that she's politicizing killing and shooting dogs for her own benefit. People, she's not going to get by with it. And my guides told me the reason Trump gets by with so much is before he became president, he was a celebrity. He was on The Apprentice. He was a celebrity. People, oh my God, Donald Trump. He used to be a Democrat. Thank God he ain't. But, people, they had him on this pedestal. Well, that pedestal's coming down. But she was never a celebrity. And so for her to try to make political gain by injuring innocent animals, it's like, that's just sick behavior, in my opinion.
And apparently she was talking about some of the kids in her Christian school or something. She was calling them tyrants. little kids. I mean, come on, people.
Right. I mean, this is really, in my opinion, the end of her political career.
Yeah.
And I'm telling everybody, don't buy her book. Take that money and donate it to the American Humane Society or to a local no-kill shelter in the name of cricket.
Yeah.
And the goat she killed and the 3 horses.
Well, who's the guy that went hunting with Dick Cheney that time and shot him?
Oh, yeah.
Can somebody go hunting with her?
Shot him in the foot or something. I remember that.
Still, I don't think Animal Planet's going to be offering her a job anytime soon. Okay, we'll put it that way. Casey, is Florida really in play in November? I'm saying yes.
Me too. I hear yes, absolutely. And
yes,
once DeSantis is gone, I see a decent governor coming to Florida. Yay.
Laura Wright, I'm hearing some right-wing men talking about wanting to repeal the 19th Amendment, the right for women to vote. It would never happen. But will this come up as something that the GOP wants?
Well, the women will bring Trump down. My guides have told me that. And after Stormy Daniels today in court, my guides told me a long time ago Stormy Daniels would bring him down. And people didn't believe it. And it took a long time. As a psychic, my timing stinks. But it happens. And, if they try even talking about repealing the 19th Amendment, the women are going to be hopping mad. They already are about the abortion thing. I mean, this is like the Taliban. Women can't have rights to their body. They can't vote. They can't do this.
They can't drive.
Right? Exactly. So,
I mean, what's going to have all those Rosie the Riveter signs?
It's going to bite those right-wing men right where the sun don't shine. I mean, I don't understand. They talk about, the Republican Party used to talk about, the Tea Party talked about individual freedom and how important that was. But that same party has morphed into this authoritarian, ultra right-wing.
Well, it's freedom for us to do what we do, but not for what you to do.
Correct. But
if you're not agreeing with us.
But they want to take women's right to vote, women's rights away from them.
They already did once.
They want to take our rights away. They want to take everybody's rights away unless you fit the mold. And I see that apartheid coming to an end. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm getting on my high horse.
That's all right. When you step down, it'll be shorter.
My high horse is the tiny pony, actually.
My Little Pony? Never mind.
What do you think about it, Arthur?
I think it's nuts. I think some of these people are saying these things just as clickbait to get their name, something so outrageous that their name gets out there. It's like the preachers that are saying that all gays should be executed in public squares, those kind of things that thou protest too much. But it's just the fact that it's just outrageous. But the fact that when you look at what Arizona tried to do is use a law that was written before women even had the right to vote and was about abortion. I don't know where. And then the fact that Alito had used something from when he did that thing about Roe versus Wade, something from a long time ago, to back what he was saying when you still had the witch trials in Salem. So it's nuts. Sorry, that's my soapbox. Now I'm shorter.
The thing, get off your little high horse, your little pony. The thing that concerns me about this was that Trump started this. They say things that are so outlandish and so far out there. People go, they're shocked. What? And then they keep saying it and saying it and saying it. So it's normalized, almost like brainwashing everybody. And, in the beginning, people get crazed about it. But then what happens is they chip away by saying the same thing. So the insane comment is normalized, and then they chip away at those rights until ultimately they get what they want. I mean, if they tried to overturn women's right to vote tomorrow at 2:30, it wouldn't happen. But if they keep up this outlandish crock, and if people don't call them on it, at some point they'll chip away more at women's rights, and it could get to a point where women could lose their right to vote. I don't see that happening, but my guides are letting me understand the process in which things like that do occur.
I agree. And I'm seeing new names here. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. How are you? Yay, Kevin.
Here's another question. Hi, Mel and Arthur. The Washington Post yesterday had breaking news that Social Security will run out in the early 2030s. What will happen then?
Nothing.
Because I see it being propaganda.
Well, I mean, I think if the current trends keep going, yes, it will run out. But here's the deal. Well, I think a lot of the MAGAs would love for it to run out. And they could say, you see, that's an entitlement. It's not an entitlement. It's what we paid into.
Yeah, what about your grandma and your grandpa now? Are you going to take care of them?
If they would have invested that money carefully, wouldn't be having the conversation. I mean, I remember years ago, people would say, oh, Social Security is going to run out by 2020 or 2020, whatever. And that was maybe 30 years ago, and here we are.
So, look, you and I, since I was 15 years old or 16, I was putting money into that thing.
Right.
So it's crazy. But,
right.
You know.
Here's one. Can you put the one up by Donna O'Brien?
I just read it. I'm not.
Okay. Donna O'Brien says South Dakota has a Democrat challenger for Republican Dusty Johnson. Do you see Dems getting a win in South Dakota? Yes, if they get out and campaign and knock on doors, absolutely. But here again, it depends on how much they campaign. It's just not going to be a shoo-in. I do see Kristi Noem out of office, that's for sure.
And Lone Bobart and a few others.
Bobart, yeah. You mean Bibles, Babies, and Jesus? Is she the one that got groped? Or who was in Beetlejuice? Oh, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, that was Bobart.
No, that was Lone Bobart. When she turned around, you know, like I said, if I was the guy there and she turned around, do you know who I am? I'm like, unfortunately, yes, I do.
Yeah, you just got groped. That's why your ass is out of this theater.
Yeah. This is about, will Mayor Adams be successful for suing on behalf of the transport of the immigrants into New York?
I hear a yes to that.
Yeah. I do too.
And when Abbott from Texas put those immigrants on an airplane, it was a charter plane, and flew into O'Hare and didn't really say where the plane was coming from. And then the people who were on the plane that got the immigrants on there took off and left O'Hare, the people that worked for Texas.
Yeah.
I see Illinois trying to press criminal charges federally for what they've done, because, you know, there's conjecture.
Trafficking over state lines.
There's conjecture onto whether or not that was legal. And now O'Hare's being very, very careful about those charter planes that come in.
That's almost kidnapping, as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
Or when they took them to Martha's Vineyard, and then the bus is up to leaving people outside of Kamala Harris's house.
Or how about when they took those? Yeah, that's exactly right. And it was wintertime, and they were in short sleeves and shorts. It's like,
yeah,
what? You don't do that to people when it's like freezing outside. That's terrible.
Well, normal people don't do that.
But here again, you know, the so outlandish thing that becomes normalized. That's what happened in Nazi Germany. This is not Nazi Germany. This is America.
And to answer the question about Josh Hawley, yes, Lucas Kuntz is going to win. That's how I read it.
I hear a yes on that as well.
Okay. And thank you, people, for being patient with me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Kathy Holcomb. Hi, dynamic duo. Do you see Netanyahu being removed since he is seizing key Gaza crossings, where over 1 million people are sheltering from the war?
You want to answer it first, then I'll go?
He's going to be gone end of July.
You know, my guides, I touched on this morning on Morning Moments with Mel. That's hard to say. Where I think Egypt and Qatar, I can't pronounce. I think it's Qatar.
Qatar.
Whatever. Carter.
Go on.
Carter. Okay.
No, it's Qatar.
Carter. I mispronounce stuff all the time. Anyway, they organized a ceasefire, and Hamas agreed to it, but Netanyahu said it didn't have enough core principles that he wanted. And so he's still planning this attack on Rafah. And those people have
nowhere to go. Now it's all of them to evacuate and leave.
Right.
They have nowhere to go.
Exactly. Right. I mean, they drop pamphlets, evacuate. Where are these people going to go? And my feeling is if he does that, then Biden is going to tell Netanyahu, and I think Biden's already warned him, if you do that, you know, I've got money slated for Israel in my pocket, but you're not getting it. I'll put it on hold until you stop this.
Right.
You know, what Netanyahu's doing now, I understand attacking Hamas. They attacked Israel. That I don't have a problem with, but not innocent Palestinians. You know, it's becoming genocide. It is genocide, just like Putin is doing in Ukraine. And Netanyahu, my guides are telling me, is going to be held responsible for that. I see a leader coming into Israel that will promote peace in the Middle East. No nonsense, but will promote peace in the Middle East and will have a separate state, Israel, and Palestine being a separate state and living together peacefully. That's what I see.
I agree.
So when do you see Netanyahu taken out?
I see him departing by the end of July.
I'm sorry?
I see him departing by the end of July is what my guides say.
Okay, that's right. You said that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That happens when we get old.
As a Giga Hellblaze says, I like that name. Storm's telling us Stormy took the stand today and bringing in the storm on Trump. And boy, did she. Oh, she certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a storm. That was a level 6 hurricane.
Yeah.
I think we should call her Tornado Stormy. That's what.
Stormy weather.
Okay.
I'm trying to scroll through these things. I'm not proficient because it keeps on going back to the beginning again.
I've got one. Christian Martinez. Hi, Christian. ¿Cómo estás? That means, how are you? Mexico is having its presidential election in June of 2024. Do you see Claudia Sheinbaum winning and fight the drug and gangs like El Salvador and Ecuador is doing?
I get a yes on that.
I see a president coming to Mexico that's going to be much like the president of El Salvador and Ecuador. I mean, probably, 10 years ago, El Salvador was very dangerous and Ecuador was too. But I see a president coming to Mexico that's really going to crack down on the cartels and fight the drug gangs and not be fearful to do that. And I because it's out of hand in Mexico, and I see an end to it, to those gangs and cartels of Mexico at some point. And that's going to be a lot sooner than later. Okay,
here's one.
Oh my. Okay, go ahead.
Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. That's the name. Do you see any of the TV media hosts, Sean Hannity, etc., getting in trouble or going to jail for participating in January 6th?
Well, they didn't really have active participation. What I do see are a lot of lawsuits against some of those people over at that so-called news network, and a lot of lawsuits against that network. And those people are going to win those lawsuits. I'm going to tell you right now that Hunter Biden is going to sue them.
Oh,
and he's going to win. He's going to sue Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he's going to win. He's going to hit her in the pocketbook like there's no tomorrow.
And she'll use it as a fundraiser.
Right. What do you see, Arthur?
Oh, well, Sean Hannity was trying to get him to stop, but the thing is, they just kept the propaganda going, and I feel they'll say it's their free speech, but then again, you can't yell fire in a theater.
Right.
There's some fine lines I feel these people have crossed, and my guys keep on saying we may not see it exactly the way we want to, but they'll get theirs.
Karma will take place.
And karma's a bitch.
Okay. Swim Nayas, I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry. It says freedom of speech. This I heard about, and I was like, what? 136 journalists deliberately wiped out in Palestine. Al Jazeera was shut down in Israel.
Yes.
And that, that's what dictators do. That's what Trump was trying to do to the media, unless it's his propaganda arm, that certain channel we all know about. I think it's very dangerous. I believe in a free press. I might not agree with everything that they say over that other network, but I believe in a free press. That's a tenet of democracy. And Israel is a democracy. And when he shut down Al Jazeera, that's not democracy. That's totalitarian. And actually, what he succeeded in doing is giving Al Jazeera a lot more power. And some way or another, Al Jazeera's stories and reports and things like that are going to get to the Israeli people, regardless of what Netanyahu does.
It's crazy.
I see it
that's my word of the day. It's crazy.
I see once Netanyahu is gone, I do see another prime minister in Israel that will allow Al Jazeera to come back in and to operate. I mean, they have excellent reporting. I look at Al Jazeera. Here again, I'm pro-Israel, but I am so anti-Netanyahu. And I also want Palestine to be a separate state.
Oh, I see that happening.
And my guides tell me it will happen as well. Okay.
Here's one.
Sherry, my lasagna's in the oven and starting to smell really good right now. Sherry, Sherry, voices from the swamp. We must have mental telepathy. I was thinking about making lasagna for dinner. So.
That's what I had before I did the show. Seriously.
All great minds think alike.
Lasagna Tuesday.
There you go.
Sacred Hag, will this country get serious about climate change in the next few years?
We have no choice. Well, if Trump gets in, which he won't, we're screwed on climate change. Like the storms this morning, I've never seen them like that here in Illinois. It was like really frightening. I cannot remember when it was like 72 degrees here in February. It was crazy. We didn't have much of a winter this year at all, maybe just a few minor snows, and they were wet snow. I mean, normally we have major snowstorms. When I moved here in 1983, I thought I moved to Siberia. I mean, it would snow in October and we wouldn't see the ground again until spring. We have major snowstorms, but not anymore. I can see it happening. I can see the acceleration in my lifetime. My guides tell me we haven't tipped the scales too far, as Linda Grindle would say, to cause Armageddon. But if we're not careful, we can easily tip them too far, and we're going to be in big doo-doo. But I don't see that happening.
No.
What do you think, Arthur?
I don't have a brain. No, seriously, the climate stuff, look, we were talking about this stuff when we were kids, and no one was listening. The electric car came out in the 80s, and then the oil companies got rid of them, the Saturn. And we're paying the price for it. And they knew what was going to happen.
Absolutely. They did. Remember Earth Day?
Of course.
People talking about, pollution, car pollution, this, that. I mean, it was a big environmental movement in the late.
Do you remember the commercial where I forget the Indian's name, but he was looking at the highway and all the
and crying,
the tear.
Right. I remember
that. Was that always affected me as a kid. That really meant a lot. And then today, people just laugh at it.
It's prophetic. It really is, or was. Jen G says, Mel, I live in the Chicago suburbs and was lucky to stay indoors during the horrible rainstorm. It was bad. I couldn't see to drive. It was just really bad. And the roads were flooded. And it was like, you don't want to go through an underpass.
Oh no.
Especially if there's traffic, because it's a good way to learn to swim.
That almost happened to me once in Vegas. There was out of nowhere, there was a flash rains, and we're going under an underpass. I'm like, I just pulled to the side of the road. I said, I'm not going in there. And my friend said, what are you doing this for? I said, I'm a psychic. Shut up. No, that's scary. That's really scary, that stuff.
It is.
Okay, Sherry. Louisiana passed a bill today to remove rape, incest as exceptions to get abortions. Then they struck down efforts to put abortion on the ballot for us to vote on next election.
Go ahead, Arthur. I see what's going on.
It's always darkest before the dawn. It's going to blow up in their faces.
What's like Sherry said, people in Louisiana didn't get out and vote. And this is what happens when you don't get out and vote.
You lose your voice.
Correct. And then people bitch and moan about it. But I do see abortion put on the ballot in Louisiana at some point, Sherry. I don't know what the law is down there. I know the governor is going to try to change it in his behalf. But I see him as a one-time governor. And I see abortion on the ballot, and I see women down there hopping mad. So
this will get them out. I just have to share this. If my uterus shot bullets, would you stop regulating it? Thank you, Julie.
I absolutely think that is brilliant.
I love
Sherry,
it.
you should get a t-shirt like that. If my uterus shot bullets, would you stop regulating it? Sherry, you need to wear that down there, girlfriend.
And on your shows.
And on your shows.
I used to have one years ago that said, Jesus, protect me from your followers, or save me from your followers. But this is a good one.
I just saw a thing flash on my phone that Marjorie Taylor Greene is panicking. She should be.
Oh, really? Cal Surprise. Okay. I apologize. I'm not the best with this, people.
Here, I'm trying to help out here.
I know.
Oh, somebody from Nova Scotia. Hi, Donna from Nova Scotia.
Hi.
Things in Canada. Okay. Let me
here. Fox. Didn't Fox just pulled the story about Hunter Biden? He is suing. Yes.
And
yes, he is.
If they're smart, they'll settle it out of court.
Well, they're asking for them to apologize, which I don't really. If they do, it'll be like at 3:00 in the morning in 5 seconds.
It'll be like, we're sorry, but we really didn't mean it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But I really see the revenge porn rule that Hunter Biden's going to win against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I heard today somewhere that there's a guy, he's trying to outlaw porn. And that's not, it just,
Oh, please. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene said that she wanted to limit, access the porn online, how would her followers make money?
Not touching. No, nobody would watch her. I'm sorry.
No, I said her followers.
Oh,
that's their job.
I got you.
Getting it right. It was reported today that an assassination attempt on Zelensky was foiled. Can you read anything on it?
Well, we know who's behind it. Putin, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
feel there have been several they've never talked about.
I'm sorry, say again.
I feel there have been several attempts that they haven't really talked about. And that there's a lot going to be coming up. I would say I keep on getting 2027, 2028. A lot of stuff is going to be just flooding, like the floodgates open with whistleblowers and everything really opening up because somebody may not be around to haunt them or to try and get his followers to kill them. Entertainment purposes only.
I can see, a lot more attempts being made, but not succeeding. I'm sure they got really good intelligence there. Putin would love to get rid of him and put his own puppet in power like he has in Belarus. But I see the people in Belarus protest.
They're getting upset.
I'm sorry?
They're getting upset too.
I see them protesting in the streets, and I see that country almost near civil war, and I see them overturning Lukashenko. So
I love this. Who are the folks in MAGA in their past lives, which causes them to be here supporting the Orange Menace? I really can't answer that, but what I've always said is send them love and light because they're the upgrade from what they once were.
I'm sure that they were the people like during the Inquisitions, the Inquisitor generals who, were supposed to be doing good for the church, but really they were power hungry and sadistic in past life. And so at some point, they're going to have to come back and be a victim of all the things that they've instilled on other people.
Mm-hmm.
All I can tell you is that they will have to face their karma.
And they will.
Good.
And this is going back to Netanyahu.
Yes.
Do you see President? Yes. I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
My ADD kicked in. I'm like, yes.
Well, your light bulb goes off. It goes off. I'm like a little kid. Oh. Do you have to go to the bathroom? No, I have. My guides want you to say something.
That's why we do that. That's why we just jump in.
We never. People always say, you guys cut each other off. You don't let each other finish sentences. It's when we get this stuff in our head. I can't remember tomorrow's breakfast, or yesterday's breakfast. But if something comes in my head, I got to say it.
If you don't get it out, okay.
You lose it.
As we were talking earlier in the show, though, I see, and I think Arthur, you said the same thing, that Biden has talked to Netanyahu on the phone and in person and said, if you do this to Rafah and you keep this up, the money that the United States is earmarked for Israel, we will keep in our pocket. I mean, Biden has given him really stern warnings. And I think Biden's going to be more vocal about those warnings. Biden just doesn't, Biden is just not a braggart. Like, everything Trump did, even when he screwed up, it's the best, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah.
Even when he didn't do it.
Correct. Biden doesn't do that. Biden just says, just goes on and takes care of things that need to be taken care of.
He's a Scorpio. He does it quietly.
Exactly. Exactly. What is Trump?
Gemini.
No wonder. Nothing bad about Geminis, but he's a poorly aspected Gemini. I mean,
he's uninvolved Gemini. Put it that way.
He's not even evolved. Yeah.
Evolved.
He's living proof that some human beings really did evolve from pond scum. Did I just say that?
Or reverting back.
Yeah, right. Don't call them Neanderthal. They were smart. Let me see this. Wow. Greek church holy scepter in Jerusalem invaded by Ishmael police who took hostage of the guards of the holy church. Why did they disrespect one of the holiest sites in Christianity? Well, here again, it's about power and control. We take over your church. We have control over you. And it was to make a statement, but obviously it's a statement that will backfire.
Yeah. You can't use, I mean, going against people's religion and stuff, it's on so many different levels through history. You know, religion was used to keep people shut up, keep them in line, and people start getting smart. And then, but to go after churches like this for political reasons, it's wrong.
It's totally wrong. Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm reading the comments. Oh, that's a good one. You want to read that?
Yeah, Karen from Colorado, or Karen, Colorado. Will Elon Musk sell X or step away?
I understand it's not doing so well. Just like Trump's thing he brought, what is it, Truth Social or something?
Yeah.
I see X having a lot of financial issues. And at some point, my feeling is he'll sell it or just step away from it.
Well, after he's wreaked havoc.
I'm sorry, say again.
After he's wreaked havoc, he's allowing all the Nazi entertainment purposes only people come forward and rejoin, and everyone coming back. It's like he's wreaking havoc.
Exactly.
Right. He's lost money. He got money from other places, so he's doing their propaganda for them. That's why I look at it.
Okay. Getting It Right says the Cannon trial was due to begin May the 20th, so she delayed the start date until the fraud trial is completed. Nothing sneaky here. I disagree with Getting It Right. I can understand delaying it, but the tactic she's using clearly tells me that there's a lot more to this, and that behind the scenes, she's showing prejudicial behavior toward Trump. It's pretty obvious. So I see her gone. I really do. Kick the can. Yeah. But that was a good comment, Getting It Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Just get the cannon ready.
And Linda B says, Linda LB, Cannon has accepted gifts. Will she be held accountable? I hear a yes to that. What do you think, Arthur?
Well, yes and no. I mean, she did get it into the computer and said it was a glitch, but I feel it's going to open up some other things. I really feel down the line, the two law clerks that got fired are going to talk, and they've got some stories to tell,
which will come out.
Yes. Well, the truth always comes out eventually.
I've got some questions here. All right, we've got time for a few more. Do you see any investigation on the RNC and Laura Trump? That's Elizabeth Dotson.
Yes. Yes.
That was so do I, actually. And when they made her head of the RNC,
it's positive. It means yes. It means yes. And 24 to me reads is the end of July.
Okay. When they made her head of the RNC, I'm like, well, that's not going to last long. So how much you want to bet after the election she's going to be gone?
Well, either that or after her father-in-law goes somewhere.
I think they're gonna start looking at where the monies are going in the RNC, and there's gonna be some scandals about that too.
Because it's not going to the people that's supposed to be going to. It's just going to somebody's law bills. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't do two things at one time. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll tell you. Let me do the comments, and you can. How's that?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right. Let me just get here. Okay. All right. We've already answered some of these. There's great questions.
Oh, here's a good one. Will Debbie, whatever her name is, Powell, Democrat, win over Rick Scott in Florida?
I feel Rick Scott gone. And here again, if Debbie Mucarsel, I think, goes out and campaigns and knocks on doors, yeah, she can win. But it's going to be a long climb. I just hope she's got enough money to do it. But
I think it's going to be close.
I'm sorry?
But I think it's going to be very close. But again, I do see a lot of sections of Florida going blue in this coming election, and especially with the abortion on the ticket.
Right. Andrew says Paul Manafort. Do you see him being kicked off the campaign in the summer? That's a question. I do. I don't see him staying in the campaign. And I see Manafort under indictment again.
I agree. There's still more stuff coming out from the Jan 6 stuff that hasn't even been touched on by the media that Jack Smith has locked up. And I see Paul Manafort's name there with a lot of the Trump stuff still to be disclosed.
Okay. Roy wants to know if I'm getting his messages. Yes, Roy, I see them, but sometimes I get, over 300 emails a day, and it's hard for me to just get to answer every one of them. So if I haven't, I apologize. It just, sometimes there's just not enough of me to answer all of them. So.
Okay. Well, the people that are cloning Trump, we can ask to clone you.
No. Thank you. No, call Arthur. Okay. Do we have time for more, Arthur?
I'm just going to list a statement. I like this. I think Biden's dog is protecting him. They read people better than we do.
I wonder if the Secret Service people that he bit, I wonder who they were for.
Exactly.
I mean, never ever teeth on flesh, and the Bidens, when the dog kept biting people, did remove him from the White House and put him somewhere where he couldn't bite people. And, you try to train dogs not to bite, but, German Shepherd has a high bite drive, but yet dogs shouldn't be biting people. But that's no excuse to shoot the dog in the head. So.
What gets me is you have to have, in most states, you have to have a license to have a dog, but you don't need anything to have children.
No, because, no, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
But I'm just observation purposes on entertainment purposes only.
Okay. Do we have anything left? Any words of wisdom that you'd like to?
Vote, vote, vote.
Thank you. Vote, vote, vote. Arthur, for the first time of doing this live, you did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
I remember my first time on StreamYard. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we never forgot our first.
I've got ADD, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't keep them trying to answer the questions and blah, 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 blah.
And people don't really, there is at times there can be a second delay. Then in the background on my other computer, I have the YouTube, and I'm reading StreamYard, and I'm dyslexic, and I'm, like I always say, every village has an idiot. Hi. Thank you. That was a pleasure.
Here's what I do when I do live stuff, and if I'm a moderator or helping somebody, ask people to start asking questions before the show begins. And they can put those in the chat. And then you can star them, and ask in capital letters is good. And then when they're starred, you can just go down and read the starred questions, and it makes it a lot easier.
Thank you, Auntie Mel.
I don't know much about StreamYard, the mechanics of it, but like doing all this stuff, I kind of
got
it.
I mean, it makes common sense, but when you
you wouldn't know unless somebody told you. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying vote, right?
I'm saying vote, and also the biggest lesson I've been learning these last several months is gratitude. To be just thankful for the good, the bad, the ugly, because it gives us the lessons for us to learn to move forward. And I've had some personal experiences lately where, I realized like years ago when I prayed, I wasn't praying to God. I was praying to Santa Claus. I want this. I want that. I want this. Please, please, please. And then I started realizing if you're grateful for what you have, then the abundance is already there. And the same thing with the wonderful people that we have here. And please go to Mel's channel, like, subscribe, leave comments. And when you're done there, stop by my channel, do the same. And that I'm very grateful for this community.
I'm grateful for the community and the people that support us. And a lot of times when I bitch and moan about what I don't have, and I tell people this too, so I'm not being a hypocrite about it, I have to stand back and look at the things I am thankful for having. So anyway, I'll leave everybody with that and put the fear behind you. It's going to be a wild ride. You all buckle up. You better get the motion sick pills because it's going to be a wild roller coaster ride. But it will be a ride where we will come out on top.
And as I always say, this too shall pass. It may seem like a kidney stone, but it's going to pass.
Ouch. It's a good analogy.
But it's true.
On that happy note.
All right. So what are we doing next week?
Next week, my channel. And live on my channel. And
okay. And then I get to see how Mel does it.
Yeah, I'll probably screw it up too.
That's why they love us.
I'll have somebody behind the scenes starring things for me.
I know. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. And if we didn't get to your name, I apologize. We don't do so much. Well, but thank you for stopping by. We had some good questions, some good people. Thank you.
We'll be doing a lot of these in the future. So if we didn't get to their name tonight, there's other times when we will.
Okay. All right, y'all. Night.